everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Daily Market Commentary. Hope everybody had an amazing trading day the last couple of days. I've actually taken a few days respite. I was camping in the Smoky Mountains with my family, so I'm going to be the first to tell you, I haven't even opened a chart since I closed them on Friday. So you're looking at it the first time I'm looking at it bright and early here on our Wednesday morning. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, immediately, what do I see? Well, looking here on the S&P, immediately what I see is, kind of just at first glance, is I see this pattern that's forming right here. And I see a fairly wide kind of triangle pattern that's forming through here, which does lend itself to strong breakout style of trading. We still have our reversal area down in here if price does get down to this region. As far as what happened over the last couple of days, frankly, it was a good day. It was a good time for me to take a few days off because, well, nothing happened. Friday, I took a little bit of a, of a flyer, if you will, on a short right in through here. We wound up rallying back up. I thought, on Friday I talked about the potential to get short right in this region here. We got a little move out of it, but not enough to make it worthwhile for Friday's market action. Looking at yesterday's movements in the Nasdaq. Now the Nasdaq has not come. Let me move that back to an hourly chart. That wasn't quite right. The Nasdaq has not come quite back up to its high. Doesn't have the same triangular pattern that the S&P does. So the S&P is performing a little bit stronger. Just off of that, we still have our essentially a rising trend line through here. And that rising trend line, little bit of weakening on that rising, what's that called, a rising wedge, I think, where the tops are coming together and the bottoms are still in a line. Technically, that's a slightly bearish pattern because it's showing a slightly weakening of momentum. However, coming off of an all-time high, I'm not going to be looking to short really anything in the Nasdaq. I just don't see an opportunity. I'm not going to be trying to short this thing and pick a bottom, pick a top. It's just a mistake waiting to happen. So I could look at a smaller time period for a potential reversal. Somewhere down in here. I'm not in love with this area, so I'm going to actually hold off on adding anything new to the Nasdaq at the moment. Looking at crude oil. So in crude, we had a 15-minute level, and that 15-minute level, price has come into it, chop around. It's really just been jumping through. Now, I will tell you, I didn't have this level over the weekend, and so I didn't have anything open. I didn't have this thing opened over the weekend, so I did not execute on this little 15-minute level. I will say that this 15-minute level did work with this move from here straight down. It has not really done much since, so it's kind of just hanging around this particular region, chopped along sideways. So I'm going to delete this line here. Certainly this isn't really going anywhere at the moment, and I don't really have a whole lot to add for crude at the moment as we're going sideways through here. Going to be kind of a boring day is what it looks like. Same thing happens in gold. Not a whole lot to add as well in the gold markets. Now, why are we having all this sideways price action? Well, I think there's a lot of what's going to happen today with the Fed, so we'll see what happens on the Fed's announcement later today. So looking at Treasury Notes, bonds, we're still in between our area. I've actually still got an alert out there for when price breaks below here to see what the arrival looks like for potential breakdown. On the Aussie, we had our gap down into the level, and it's kind of popped back up through here. This one on Friday hit the area and moved up nicely. This was the level. I think I had tweeted about this on Friday. So this level certainly no longer any good, no longer valid. The euro we had popped above our breakout, hit it again, continuing to move. I still think that the euro, remember this was more of an investor style play, coming off of this weekly demand. If you're trading utilizing the concept of candle to candle trading, you've moved your stop up to below this candle's low. So you've reduced your risk significantly by moving it up just to below this area here. Remember, this is more of an investing opportunity longer term. We found that on the weekly and the daily charts. Looking at the Canadian dollar. So on the Canadian, we had this huge triangle pattern that we had talked about, where it had been kind of weaker. We're still waiting on the breakdown below here. So far today, we've got a whole lot of nothing going on as far as opportunities. Great British Pound, that one, once again, we'd hit on Friday, rallied back up. This is certainly no longer going to be valid. And the Japanese yen as well hit on Friday and now was smoking down. These were all in the tweets that I had posted on Friday. Hit this level, and this one's continuing to move. If you held it over the weekend, you were richly, richly rewarded. I will tell you I held nothing over the weekend, and so I've got to completely remove it at this point. So now, looking ahead in the yen, let me see this on a 4-hour. So looking at this on the 4-hour time period, what I see down here is this little area that could slow us down. I don't know that it's going to reverse our trend, and I'm not so sure that I'm willing to trade against our 4-hour trend at this point, but we could get a little bit of a bounce off of here, or that trend could, or that bounce could just move us to here. And if that area moves us to here, let's look at it on the 1-hour time period, we can see that there's a possibility for a reversal right in through here. So keep this area in mind. I actually like this area above it just a bit better. Oh, come on, move for me. Right here. I like that area just a bit better. It's already been touched once, but I still think there's some validity to it. All of these are potential pullbacks, and maybe you want to use this as a kind of as a confirmation style of an entry. Copper, still way far away from the entry I had talked about sometime last week. Nowhere near that level. Maybe we get a little bit of a move off of this area through here. You may want to keep an eye on this area here. And nat gas, our level's way down here. All right, so that's what I have so far. For today, what I like the most is maybe this ES breakout, but I will tell you, I'm not a huge fan of playing breakouts around news events. When there's announcements like the Fed announcement, oftentimes I see candles that do this. Right? It looks really good, and you're like, yes, I got my breakout. And then literally a minute and a half later, like if you're looking at 1-minute candles, you get one of these that looks like this, and you're like, oh no, I got stopped out. And then the next candle does this, and you're right back where you started. And I see this happen a lot around news announcements. You get these whipsaw candles that'll get you in and stopped out, and you'll be angry, or it'll get you in and stopped out, and you'll be angry. And so just keep that in mind today as well, that the breakout around those announcements aren't always going to be your best opportunities. So, hope everybody has an absolutely amazing trading day. If there's anything I can do for you, please don't hesitate to send me an email. I will talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Later.